It is 8 p.m. I am going to just go live on another, and we're good. There we go. This is Shy. For those of you that do not know, I am a speaker, workshop presenter, and life coach. So I have been doing a couple of the key points from my ebook, 7 Key Points to Starting Your Healing Journey. I stated that I would do the first 3. This week, we are on key point number 3. The ebook looks like this. This is the title page. Okay. And I am going to just recap on the previous 2. I have talked about forgiveness, as well as, that was key point number 1. Key point number 2, identifying your pain points and what do you need to be healed from. And today's key point is acknowledgement. When did you become broken and by who? I know that question in general can be challenging for some of us. But again, key point number 3, acknowledgement. When did you become broken and by who? Let me put this in the same place. Okay. So to go ahead and start off, what I have is a definition for broken. Broken meaning having been fractured or damaged, no longer in one piece or in working order. Also having given up all hope, despairing. So just being a human being, I know that is very relatable. We've all at some point have been in a place where that is how we felt. That was the reality. It just was. And this particular key point will have you asking some questions that could be tough. Some questions, some hard questions that may bring about self-examination, that can, some questions that may even change the dynamics in family. But I have a question, and it is, how old were you when you realized that you were broken? And it's just, again, it's not a deep question or anything like that. It's just wanting to find out. I am actually looking for my, there we go. It's not allowing me to share out. So in reference to this particular key point, acknowledging, when did you become broken and by who? How old were you when your spirit was violated, when it was put down, when you were disregarded, crushed, lied on, lied to, when you were just hurt, abused, deserted? Then comes the next, those are, when did this happen? When did it occur? When did you start feeling this way? And then we go into, who did it? Who told you that you were worthless? Who told you that they didn't love you? Who did you need to tell you that they loved you and they never did? Who took your innocence? Who left you? Who took advantage of you? Who didn't believe in you? These are all things that we must acknowledge. It is just part of the healing process. Um, a lot of these things we continue to allow people to have the power over when we're going to start healing, when we're going to get past it, when we're going to move forward, because sometimes it's easier just to brush it up under the rug than ask ourselves these hard questions, because we have to look at ourselves, and then we have to just dive in with the truth. And although the truth is good, and you hear a lot of people saying, let's keep it 100, and I don't lie, I don't do this, but with certain topics, with certain experiences in life, people become mute. People tiptoe around it. People don't want to touch it because it's just too fragile. And once you touch it, it's going to affect a lot of things. It's just going to start a domino effect. And if I say something, I'm going to have to examine myself, because I knew that you was being violated, and I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I knew that what you needed from me was love. And because I didn't experience that, that means that I didn't know how to give it. So if I didn't know how to give it, then how do I give it to you? It puts us and other people in a place to hold ourselves accountable, to examine ourselves, to look at what it is that we've been experiencing, we have been going through, and what it is that we have been carrying with us. So in reference to that, once you start asking the questions, then it's like, okay, well, how do you get a resolve? What do you do? In order to fully be just who you were created to be, we must acknowledge what changed us. We must acknowledge what changed us to allow change. If I don't acknowledge what changed me, then how can I then say, I'm going to change, I'm going to do something differently, but I'm not acknowledging the one thing that changed me, that now puts me in the place to need to change. And once we do realize that change, what it does is we take the power back. We take our power back to be able to heal and move forward. But again, we have to start asking, when did this happen? When was my spirit broken? When did I feel like I was all alone? Or when was I left alone? So now as an adult, as I don't trust people, because everyone that I used to trust, I looked up one day and no one was there for me. I needed someone to protect me, and everyone around me that should have been protecting me, they let me get hurt. What do I do with that? How does it show up later on in life? So asking the tough questions, doing self-examination, and at times it will cause others to do a self-examination. But what comes out of that, the analogy just popped in my head, surgery. So what if a doctor came to you and said, this is what I think is wrong with you, and based on what I think, no test, no anything, I'm going to go ahead and do this surgery. Where you're going to ask a question, well, before you want to do all the surgery stuff, shouldn't you be sure this is what it is? So that way when you do the surgery, whatever it is that you're trying to repair, remove, fix, that it's going to work. That's the same thing in our lives. We have to make sure that what we're doing, how we're doing, we're trying to recreate or reestablish or start or stop to help us no longer feel that pain, that hurt, that frustration, that loneliness, whatever that is. Well, if you never acknowledge it, how do you know that what you're doing is really a resolve for it? How do you know what you're doing is really a fix for it? Without acknowledging it, without doing some self-examination. So again, key point 3, acknowledgement. When did you become broken, and by who? It's a two-part situation. Because in a lot of times we can self-inflict, but in a lot of times it's more than one person. that's been involved. So a big thing for me is stop protecting the person that hurt you. Depending on the type of hurt that you've experienced, a lot of times I've seen victims who are in the process to becoming victors um, um, put the pressure on them and say, well, if I say something, what are they going to think? If I say something, what is going to happen? If I say something, how does this look? So now you can't even deal with the trauma or the hurt, whatever it is that you're dealing with. You're now taking on the responsibility and what it's going to look like when you tell your truth. Stop trying to protect the other person. Because in life we all have a story to tell, and in life we're all going to show up a certain way in someone's story. Don't allow what someone else did negatively to hold you hostage and to hold you in the position that you're in when you're wanting to heal, when you're needing to heal, when you're trying to move forward. So stop protecting those that caused you the pain. Stop thinking about what's going to happen, what's going on. Stop putting their feelings before yours. You have one life. It's either sink or swim. If it's your life or their lives, what are you going to do? Tell the truth. Tell your story. We're worth at least that. And what just popped in my head is someone could be telling their story. Someone could have had a bad experience with an individual in a family, and they're telling their story. And just because the cousin over here didn't have that same experience, they're telling you that what you're now saying is not a fact. Just because part of my story, just because what happened to me did not happen to you, just because that's how that person treated me and that may not be how they treated you, don't tell me that my truth is not a truth just because you wasn't a part of it. Don't try to take away what I've been through in life or discredit me because you had I may have in that situation, that person may have gotten molested, and because that was your favorite uncle and it did happen to you, then you saying that person is lying. But you wasn't there. You wasn't there the night where they were scared, where they were being violated. So a lot of times we have to learn how to take our mouths off of people's stories, because that very same person that is telling you not to basically not to live in your truth because it's going to interrupt their lives and what they thought of someone or something. If you try to tell them something about their truth, they're going to fight you against it. So again, I say acknowledgement is key. That's why it's one of the key points. When did you become broken, and by who? And even if it was yourself, why did I allow all this stuff to happen to me? You got to do self-examination. Was I taught how to love? Was I taught how to care for other people? Was I taught to stand up for myself? Was I taught that it was okay to stand up for myself? That goes back to key point number 1. Even if you realize that you have some responsibility in it, forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Release yourself of that so that you're able to move forward and move forward in the things that you need to do. So stop protecting people at the cost of you. Stop protecting people at the cost of you. Acknowledge, when did you become broken? Who played a part in it? By who? Because once you do that, you can change. You can change your perception of the situation. You can of the situation experience. You can change the outcome, because if you're stuck in the box or you're bound, you feel like there's no healing, no resolve to it. And once you get that revelation, that's freeing. I talked about that in key point number 2. It's freeing. in one. It's freeing. So again, a lot of people walk around here talking about, I'm 100, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The truth hurts. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth costs you. Sometimes the truth will have you looking like you're a liar because everybody may be on that person's team, but the truth is the truth, and it always comes out. Stick to your story, your true story. Stick to that. Share that. Understand that, because that's key to your healing journey. And a scripture that I want to give, Jeremiah 30:17. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declare the Lord. So it's already been said that what you are experiencing or what you have experienced, I already promised you healing from it. I already promised you health from it. I'm going to heal it. That's what his word says. That's what God's word says. Acknowledge, where did it come from and who caused it? Some of us in families, because the prior generations, they was raised one way, and then they raised us another way, and then we got another generation behind us. There wasn't a lot of communication. Things happen. If you knew, in most cases, you had to process it on your own. If you didn't know, but you was just walking around, something was just off, but no one ever told you. So the secrets and things that people grow up with and people have to cover up or to protect other people, take your power back. Acknowledge. No, I this really happened. I feel this way. And either it was just me or this person or these people played a part in that. And I need to be real about that, because right now it's costing me. It's costing me my joy. It's costing me some peace. It's costing me just some liberty. It's just costing me, and I'm tired of it costing me. So what are you going to do about it? Once you're able to acknowledge and go through that process of understanding and allow the change, you allow your power to be given back to you. You're taking back your power to heal and to move forward. I'm no longer gonna cover you and say, no, it didn't happen that way. No, I didn't see. When I did see, I need to ask you for forgiveness, and I also need to forgive myself. I didn't know no better. I was young then, or that's just how I grew up. So I just thought that was normal until I became of age. Whatever it is, whatever it is. Let's go through the steps to free ourselves from worried about what other people are going to think. Live in freedom and peace. Live in your truth. Live in your truth. Let's acknowledge what occurred and who was a part of it, and what that looks like and feel like for you. Let's stop giving people the ability, the power to tell us that our story is not valuable. Our story, it just didn't happen. Our story, let's stop that. Let's do what we know to do. Let's free ourselves. We got one life. It's sink or swim. Are you going to sink by holding on to the negativity, by holding on to what someone may say, may think, may feel, because you want to live out loud in your truth. You want to be healed. You want to be released from that thing that's been holding you back and hindering you from the things that you know that you should be doing, you want to do, you know that you're called to do. Live in your freedom. And I often say, once you move into that place to be able to change, everything bad right now is just you could just be stuck in that place. It's just consuming you. But everything bad that you experienced in life, every hurt, every pain, every time someone lied on you, every time you felt deserted, every time you were deserted, every time you felt lonely, all those negatives are going to turn into positives to fuel you to move from your pain to your purpose. But what happens is we get stuck, and then it hinders us, and our perception gets jacked up, and we just feel like this is all it is. And it's not. It's not. So this key point number 3, acknowledge when did you become broken and by who. It's just about accountability, acknowledging, accepting it, and changing the outcome. And when you put this with the other 2 previous videos, key point number 1 talking about forgiveness, and key point number 2 identifying your pain points and what it is that you need to be healed from. So you have to start doing, you have to do the work. You have to, I always say, if you don't have a good foundation, no matter what you build on top of it, it's not going to stand. So once you're able to do the work to get yourself to the place that you know that you should be, you know that you are called to be, then any and everything else positive that you build on top of that, it's going to be able to stand. So again, that's from this ebook here. Make sure you can see it. 7 key points to starting your healing journey. The link is going to be, it's attached to this video, the link to my website. Also the link to an upcoming event. It's called Ladies Let's Talk. It's a time to get together with women, different backgrounds, different ages, cultures, and just be able to talk, ask some questions, to hear some stories, to know that you are not alone, that we can relate, we are relatable. And even there, some connections may be a part of your healing journey to help you be able to move forward. So Ladies Let's Talk. That's going to be on March 2nd. It's a Saturday from 11 to 1:30 in the city of Claremont. The link is also attached to this. You do want to RSVP. It's an intimate setting, so space is limited. And then also, my Instagram is at Shy, ShyHealHer. On Instagram, on Thursdays, I will be doing lives about 1 o'clock. I will be doing lives on Tuesday, sometimes on my business page, majority of the time in my group at Her Purpose. You could just type in Her Purpose and you will see my group. So going forward, I'm going to actually go into a new series, and it's about declaring. Declaring and why it's important. And I'm looking at my notes here. We're going to talk about declarations and why it's important to see past what you see, what you think, and what you are experiencing. We're going to declare our future. And the word declare means to make known, formally, officially, make known as a determination. So we started with the healing, and now we're going to go ahead and declare some things. So again, there are a total of 7 key points. If you want all 7, you can go ahead and purchase the ebook, upcoming event, and then I will continue with the new series from another ebook in reference to declarations. And what I would just like to share in addition to this is in this season, my slogan, if you will, that I have is um, I don't even want to call it a slogan. It's almost just something that I just want to do. And it's believe, grow, and go. Believe what you know and you feel about yourself. Believe the call that God has placed on your life. Believe that you can do the impossible. Believe that there is nothing too hard for God. Believe that you are the head and not the tail. Believe that you are more than a conqueror. Believe. And once you believe and you just have that encouragement, and then grow in that. You study about it, you learn about it, you invest in yourself about it, you take it serious. So you're gonna believe it, then you're gonna grow it, you're gonna do the work so you can show up, and then go out into the world to do what you were designed to do. So believe, grow, and go. You guys have a great evening. Like, share, please comment the video so I know if the 7 key points have the 3 key points out of the 7 have helped. Again, like, comment, share this video, and I will see you on next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great one.